Hello again. This is the Watering Man, Spiritual Toolbox number 92, the Love Chapter number 68, audio recording number 410, examination table number 72. We'll be continuing in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 6 today. In the King James language, it says, it's talking about the love of God, okay, the love beyond words. Rejoices not in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, okay? A little tongue-tied there, okay? Now, we did let's get it here, yeah, there it is. Okay. First word was not. So that's that yuck, 3756 OU. And rejoiceth. This word is 5463. It's like that charo. CHAIRO. Okay, we covered that, okay? And that one's to rejoice exceedingly, to thrive, to rejoice. So don't rejoice for absolutely not. That love of God is absolutely not rejoicing exceedingly in. The next word in, or next word that translated as in, is 1909 epi. It's this word.
Strong's G 1909 epi.
Epi. EPIO, okay? It's a preposition, a root word. It means to rest, or as a relation of, with, our, upon, on, etc., okay? It's of direction. It's like falling into love with God or falling out of love. Falling in love with your old self, your old ego, falling away from God. And in this instance, it is falling away. Okay, don't rejoice exceedingly with falling away. That's yuck. Absolutely not allowed by God to go through the eye of the needle. That's falling away. That's that way to destruction. Broad is the way to destruction, and narrow or narrowing is the way to life, okay? This right here speaking about don't rejoice with this knowledge of good and bad, good and evil, that's falling away from God. That's your own right-mindedness. Yuck, that's stinking rags, filthy stinking rags, okay? Now, what's it saying here? Yuck. This is leading one in the wrong direction. Carnality, ego, it's that edging God out. It's that log that's in your eye. You got to get that log out of your eye by agreeing in hot pursuit of God, falling in the right direction, falling in hot pursuit, agreeing and agreeing and agreeing again with God, no matter what. But I put all my life into believing this way, agreeing to God, turn from that crap thinking and agree back into God. Get away from that log. That thing's holding you back from proceeding into more right on from out of that stinking thinking towards into an en and S1 God. You got to get out of that stuff. If you don't, you never get out of that. You stay a lightweight at whatever tiny pixel seed, that little tiny ball that's got just the seed that God is giving you. You never get to be a heavy water in any of your thinking if you don't repent, change the way you think, metanoia, and do a 180-degree about face and turn from that stuff and put everything you got into coming back into God's right-mindedness. Okay? All right, so don't, absolutely not, yuck, rejoice. Don't rejoice. It's not, yuck, don't do that at all. Back in this in relation with resting in this stuff. Don't let that stuff lay. Keep it hidden. Keep the Christ in that state of being insignificant. Keep it under a cloud of darkness of that covering. Keep it veiled over. No, He rent, the veil was rent from top to bottom when Jesus died on the cross. Okay? We have an opportunity. Agree, exist in these eyes of the storms. Remember that stuff, those pressures and the fire trials are not bad. It's giving us opportunity to agree. Get away from that old stinking thinking. Get rid of that dark matter, dark energy. Transform it. Burn that crap up. That consuming fire. Hiya. All that ball chopping out hunks of that stuff. And God's rotating it. Whack. As you agree. And then He gets down there to where it's a metal inside that's got that's impurities, but the axe doesn't work there. Boing, and it chops back at you. But it's got to be put into the refiner's pot and boiled up. Hot. Now, each different at different temperatures as the pressures of life increases. And then you agree. Shall we skim off this impurity? Yes, sir, that is skimming out. I don't want it. It's the very stuff that you thought was the absolute truth and that you couldn't live without, or that was absolutely great, grandiose, couldn't possibly be wrong. It's wrong. You got to skim that stuff out. Give it up. Just bring it up to the top. That stuff even in you that's like, ooh, man, it's terrible, and there's no way to even associate that with it being good. It don't matter if it's good or bad or whatever. It's not God. It's impurities. Get rid of that crap. So chop all that stuff out all the way around that ball. Then the impurities come to the top, and see you're going in that thing. You're going all the way through that eye of the needle with that thought process. This one to be counted after it comes all the way through there, and it's counted in there as a dense water, the heavier water. It's had more neutrons, more experiences, more relationship built in your mind, right back into the right-mindedness of God. Your cosmos thinking, orderly arrangement in the mind of humanity, your universe, your observable universe of your thinking is being transformed, chopped out, melted out, skimmed off as you stay existing in there. It's one right after the other. Boom. He might give you a little bit of Elam, so you're like, take a little break, eat, drink something, right back out in that desert. Boom. Exist. Cutting that crap out. Taking that braided rope, you get a strand, one strand, you agree. Then you get 2 more, then you get 4 more, then 8 more, then 16, 32, 64, 128. Woo! Clapping your hands. Yoo-hoo! 256. Next thing you know, you're up past that. You're up to the leads of 4,000 to 6,800, and they're like twisting those little strands of rope that are easily broken one by itself, but as it gains, twisted into a stronger rope in your thinking, each one of those can't be broken, and it's getting stronger, and each one, as it's being counted and brought all the way in and SY in God, it's permanently fixed there. So the ones at the center of that rope, they're permanently fixed. God's holding them, just like He's holding those thought processes in the nucleus of that atom, like it's drawing near, like the land of Goshen in the middle of Egypt, which Egypt was the type of the world, type of that fleshly thinking, type of your mind. And God's taking and transforming it right back in and SYN Himself, into His right-mindedness, into His will, desire. The purpose of that is to do it this way. Okay? That's the only way to do it. Okay? All the other ways trying to go through it any other way, any other gate, is a thief and a liar. It's that capping, stinking thinking. Trying to manipulate. Take care of your universe of a mind. Don't try to go out there and tell other people what to do. Or point the finger and see a splinter in some other universe. Outside your observable universe. Your observable mind. You can't possibly really see anything that's going in their mind. You maybe see a symptom. And you're misdiagnosing it. Almost all the time. Probably 99.99999% of the time. Okay? And it's like a splinter. But it's a log in their eye, but your diagnosing and your understanding of it is probably like a splinter. Unless God's given you the spiritual eye, seeing, hearing, taste, touch, and smell, unless He's working in you as the apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teachers who for the perfecting of the saints. It's a gift, not something that they can manipulate and try to control you and try to act like, I'm the big alpha dog here. Give me all your money, because freely you receive from me and freely you should give to me. Woo, woo, woo. That should be an alert to you. False prophet, false this, false facade. Freely you receive from God, freely give of yourself. Not charge them $49.99 or $49.95 for this. They're lining their own pockets. Phooey on that stuff. Trying to be a prognosticator. Trying to foretell all this stuff and talking about in-time things, blah, blah. Trying to point it way out here, talking way back here, and never dealing with what's inside. Or barely even tell you anything they don't know. That's why I'm saying there's many leaders. That's a little baby or little boy, little breakfast, nappy-ass, patty on a little boy leader, schoolboy. I can't think of the word. I'll look it up, but I'm maybe later I'll do that, okay? But it's little children. There's not many pater's, none that's really not many, and that's inside you, inside each individual, and inside this all of humanity. Pater's, the ones going all the way back from the breakfast, nappy-ass, patty-on, technon, weos, and back into the mature Son of God. That's the unborn child. Brephos. That's the nepios. A 0 to a 2-year-old. Maybe a 3-year-old. A toddler. But they can't even speak. Can't even speak the natural language, the spiritual language of God. So all they're saying is hee-haw, donkey, sneaky snake, that messed up parakeet, jackass, donkey, alpha dog. Okay? They can't even speak. 0 to a 2-year-old. Okay? This breakfast Patty-on, that's just from that stage up to adolescence. Still small child. Then you get into a technon, which is like a teenager, beginning of adolescence, all the way up to a 30-year-old man or woman. Starting to get a little bit of maturity, but they think they know it all. Lacking experience with God, lacking that relationship. It'd be down there more like my thing's gone there, but I did have a black dry erase board there with the big thing looked out, so I could look at it. Kind of helped me keep me on target. But all I remember is right back here. But it's kind of like they're up in there, and maybe ultraviolet or maybe even an X-ray or something. They're getting closer to hitting the will of God, but they don't know. They're still it's basing. It's not all the way in, and that's why in God. It's still outside the origin, outside of God. Okay? And when they get to a weos, a 30-year-old, mature son, like it says Jesus is a mature son of God. And that'd be 30, heading back all the way into that high priest, the pater, the father. That's both male and female in the spirit. It's one. God is one. And you're coming back in, being one with him. And it's like going back all the way en and syn God. And you're inside that. It's the highest, like the gamma ray. It's the highest energy, the fastest frequency, but it's the lowest off the mark amplitude. It's right down there, right down. It's like being that heavy water right in the nucleus of the atom. Being heavy, dense water. It's not tossed all the way around by every wind of doctrine. Okay? Just like in radiation, you shield, the alpha radiation with the dead layer skin cells. Okay? The beta radiation, it takes a little bit more than that. Take maybe a thin sheet of plastic. Okay? Then you get a little bit more, the x-ray, it go down, the bones and stuff will shield that out. Or take lead. Okay? It's more powerful. But it's real getting close, but it's still from out of the nucleus. It originates out of the nucleus, not from in God's right-mindedness, not in the en and syn. Battle is the Lord's. God's love, beyond words, is where you're at, where this is based from. Not just appeasing people, not just and appeasing yourself and doing it the easy, hunky-dory way, tiptoe through the toilet. No. Even to get down there, you're not going to do that, but it has to originate from your origin, which is God, the Christ in you. Okay? And all the way down, and it can be blocked with it's like I think trying to remember, a little sheet of I think it's lead or something. It'll go like taking x-rays of you. You get down and it'll show your bones and stuff. But when it gets all the way down to gamma radiation, your body won't shield that. It go right through you, right through your bones, right all the way through you. It's very powerful. Like pure energy. Or you could say pure spirit. Go right plumb through you. That's what the stop process is. Chopping that out, chopping that little sphere, that ball, that pixel of light. It's coming back to the oneness with God. Back in, all the way en and syn, God. Right back all the way down there, and it's heavy water, because that inside that nucleus there's all these experiences that you went through to get there, because it's a narrowing path with pressures and tribulation, fire, for your trials and stuff. And it's like putting more neutrons in the nucleus of that atom and that water. It's heavy water now. It's heavier, that isotope. And then there is heavier. It has more neutrons. Okay? Now, now let's see here. I've got some notes here on this. Talking down to this epi. Okay. Actually, right after epi is that ha, H-O, and that's speaking of that ball. This one, that one, this one to be counted. As it's going all the way down in en and syn, that pipeline of God, that love beyond words. This ball, this thinking process, this one little thought process or area of thought process is going all the way through there, and oops, it's all the way through it. It's all the way through the eye of the needle. Back en and syn, God, is to be counted. This is a heavy, dense water. Bam, God's got it. You're welded by God, permanently fixed, protected. No more bouncing outside there on that thought process. Woohoo! Right? Now, Now, it's like all this other stuff has been vomited out of your mouth, like bleh, all that stinking carnal thinking. Okay? Okay, one's own stinking carnal righteousness from oneself, whenever God gives one the precious opportunity to do so in these thought process. You're vomiting out. Okay, you're spitting it out. That lizard thinking that's that beast nature. It's strong stuff, but it's not strong. It's stronger than you, stronger than your efforts. But whenever you're agreeing with God, it's not stronger than God. Woo! He's faithful to do it. He's giving you it like a handout. Grab on. Be reasonable, my child. Sit my way. He's pulling you through that eye of the needle. Places that you can't even go. That spirit is uttering things that you can't even utter. That little bit of spirit down in you and the deep is calling to the deep of God. In the midst of those storms, you're agreeing. Whap, whap, whap. And he's pulling you through and you're becoming heavier and denser and denser and denser. That relationship with God is growing intimately to its heavy water, and it's counted. E-N and S-Y-N. God's pipeline. Okay? Hope you can follow me there. Now, then there's the word here, 3588, ha. They didn't translate it here. I did find they translated it a little bit later. I think it's in this verse. I don't know if I'll get there today. I got about 10 minutes left, a little bit less. Okay, and it's ha. It's not translated here in this King James Version, not in this spot, okay? It's the definite article, and it's the definite article, the, or this one, this area of one's own righteousness, and it's coming back into God's righteousness. God's separating it. The word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. It's dividing asunder the spirit and soul. This, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Chop it out, daddy. The skin and stuff follow me. Alright. That ball, that sphere is your thinking process in this area is being purified. In the lion's den, in the fiery fires, whenever you're in that ship, your mind, you're going out of your mind. It's about to go down, you're thinking from these storms. God's just giving you the opportunity to give up a little bit of that thinking. Chop it out or melt it out of you so you can skim it off. As you agree. Exist. Be born again. All the way into that water and boom, we'll count this one. It's born again. You must be born again. All right? Now, now we're down to iniquity. The word they translate is iniquity in this verse. Down there, I think it's the second time. Not rejoice in the iniquity the first time. Okay. Whoops. Didn't hit that. And then, but rejoice on the contrary, or and rejoice in the truth. Okay? Hold on a minute. Am I there yet? No. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Rejoice not, ooh yuck. Don't be exceedingly happy at falling away in your own self. And then in, right? And that's not in, that's that epi, okay? And I covered that just a little bit ago, okay? And then this one, that one, all that little ball coming back in there and being counted as it's going in and that's why in God, relying upon God, resting in God. Not resting in this falling away and anything else that's out here good and bad. No, you're resting in epi. This God, with God, on Him. It's relying on God. It's in union with God. It's in this, okay? And it's counted. Now, iniquity is number 93. It's spelled A-D-I-K-I-A. It's this word.
Strong's G93.
Adikia, I think that's what it said. It's a feminine noun. It's from the Strong's number 94, and it means injustice or unrighteousness of heart, of your mind, of your thinking process, and life. Okay, and the Strong's concordance is saying it's wrongfulness of character, life, or act. All your actions and all the way back into your character and your mind, and back beyond that. You don't do things like, I'll pick up this glasses case. It didn't start out there with that action. It started with this in the mind. Go through the brain, going down through all the biochemicals, sending it down and causing your muscles and everything. Let's get into action. Okay? Alright? It says start in the mind. That's where God's dealing. Right inside of you. In the most intimate place. Okay? Now we go to that word adikia, how do they pronounce it?
Strong's G93.
Adikia. Okay, it's feminine noun. That one comes from 94, okay? From the word 94. Adikos. This is the adjective of that word. The last one was the feminine noun, okay? Adikia. Hang on a minute. There we go. Number 93 was adikia. That's the feminine noun. That one goes down to from 94. And it's this word, adikos.
Strong's G94. Adikos.
And it's wrongfulness. It's from G1, which is alpha, but it's as a negative particle. Okay, it's an alpha dog covering up the righteousness of God. That unrighteousness, your own right-mindedness. Okay? That covers it up and tries to hide it. Okay? That bullshitter, that dog in you that's just a bunch of lies. Okay? That one in combination with number 1394. Make sure I hit that. Yep, 1394. Okay? Now this adikos means descriptive of one who violates or has violated justice. It's unjust. Okay, now it's talking about this alpha dog, your beast nature, not the alpha and the mega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last, not God, but this imposter of God that's trying to be God inside you, your own ego. Sneaky snake, alpha dog, parakeet that's all messed up, with this he-hom donkey. This imposter of light, this accuser of the brethren, Satanas and Diabolos, it's all speaking the same thing. Okay? Yuck. Don't rejoice in that sucker. That's falling away. Okay? Now, this adikos comes from that imposter of light, this and all those other yucky stuff, that beast nature. It's that negative of alpha, G1. Okay? The alpha, God. God is the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end, okay? It's the negative of that. It's the alpha dog. So that alpha, it's alpha dog and 1349. What's 1349? Let's look at it. And that's D-I-K-E. It's this word.
Strong's G 1349.
Decay.
Decay.
Okay. My wife just laughed for that. They did it. That sounded that. Hey. It sounds like calling somebody a name, but okay. It's feminine noun. Okay? And it's probably from 1166, which I get there in a minute. Now it's that DK and the alpha dog. The unjust. It is describing the heck out of it, right? Getting down to the beginning of this thing. And this is, let's see, DK. Let's just go right here. I got it written here. 1394, okay. It's unjust, treacherous, heathen, and the things it says sinful, one that misses the mark, right? One who violates or has violated justice. It's a deceitful, one who deals fraudulently. It's that log that's in your own eye. That seen, hear, and taste, touch, and smell with that eye in the middle. Giving you the shits. Bullshitting dog. Okay? Alpha dog is a bullshitter. Got it? It's unjust. It's a daggone liar. Okay? Falsehood. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Huh? Well, I'm not. DK right here. Okay? And now that's from 11. Yeah, it's also it's from 1166. It's online. It's sentenced to condemnation, punishment. Well, that was okay. That was that other word. I'm sorry, but all that, the alpha dog and this one telling us punishment, you got to have punishment and all this stuff is just wrong. I got to sign off here. It's about to run out of time.